Kyle here from allmediareviews.blogspot.com. I had just thought about, doing the concert memories, and maybe one way just to do it is empty out like the first bag, and this bag right here, concert memories slash paraphernalia, doesn't have a ton of stuff in here, so I think I'm going to do is just kind of go through these, and then I'll go through some of the other ones, because I probably have, I don't know, those little tins down there have probably a couple dozen, hundreds, if not more, ticket stubs and some other stuff. So I'll just kind of show some stuff. This will just be ticket stub slash bag paraphernalia one. So this is a System of a Down sticker. I don't know if I got this at the concert, but yeah, this is when Hypnotize came out in 2005. Mesmerized, Hypnotized, part 2 of the 2-album set. Yeah, this must have been, I may have even gotten this at the concert with the Mars Volta at the XL Energy Center in 2005. So, weird thing is, I'm sort of lukewarm on Hypnotized. It's Mesmerized, I love that record. I haven't talked extensively about it, but, so, alright. This is one of, yeah, this is significant. This is the show with, I went to Chicago on, it was, April 18th, 2006. Dredge and Hours, one of the best double bills ever. And there was another band that opened, I don't remember, it doesn't say here. It doesn't even have Hours on the ticket stub, but it was right across the street at the Metro from Wrigley Field. The thing I remember most about this show is sort of, that was the first time I got to see Hours live. That was a big deal. And I actually met Jimmy Necco after the show outside, and I was talking about Prague, and he's talking about, yeah, he loves like early Genesis, like Foxtrot's a great record. I remember that specifically. But the other thing was sort of the fan base, and I thought, a lot of people felt like when they did that tour, Hours and Dredge, that it was a really good match. And I know that the band 3 also was in talks to tour with Dredge around the same time, but they ended up touring with Hours. I've always kind of felt bad about that. But definitely there was a case of the Hours fans there, I don't know if they were that into Dredge, and they knew Dredge, and there was definitely even more of a case of the Dredge fans there were there for Dredge. They liked Hours. I don't think they disliked Hours, but they didn't know Hours. I felt like I was one of the only people that really was a fan of both, even familiar with both. But the other thing, I also had this weird experience because it was such a big deal to finally see Hours and Jimmy Necco live. April 18, 2006. When Dredge hit the stage, and I'd only seen them like once before or twice before, I'll have to go over this, the previous year, but I didn't feel underwhelmed, but like it was just like the dessert after the meal or whatever. I definitely didn't get engaged like I would have thought I would. I traveled, not a long distance, but I did travel from Twin Cities to Chicago to see this show, and that it was a good set list. It was right around the Catch Without Arms period, but that's the thing I remember most about it. It was still a great show. It was one of my favorite, I don't know, the top 50 shows probably I ever saw. I don't know, but it meant more to see Hours than the Dredge show. There were other Dredge shows I saw which were a bigger deal, even though it probably should have been. So here's one with the Fall of Troy, April 20th, 2008. Now I'm thinking, because I didn't go to see for the Fall of Troy, this was probably the Deer Hunter. And let me just pull up my concert list. The Deer Hunter won the bill, and I don't remember if this was the one that also had, it might have been the one that had Middle Class Rut. Let's see, Fall, let's look up the word Troy. But this is at the Triple Rock. It may have been the first time I saw, I'll have to look up. It may be the first time I actually ended up seeing the Deer Hunter at the Triple Rock, because I saw them a few different times there. And again, I might not even have this on here. April 20th. It's not on my list. Yeah, so I'm pretty certain that the reason the band I saw was going for the Deer Hunter, but I'm not certain of that, because I know the Fall of Troy. I like a couple of their songs sort of, but their style has never been something huge that I've been into. But that, I guess I'll have to do more research on that one. So here's the Mute Math concert, the second one I saw. Yeah, at the Fine Line, May 18th, 2006. And I'm pretty sure that also was one that Under the Influence of Giants opened for them. I saw Mute Math once previously. I think it was at the Ascot Room, the first time I saw them. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was with Vedera the previous February, but this was May 18th, and then yep. And Under the Influence Giants were just awesome, and I hadn't even heard of them. The bass player was like Wolfman Jack. I remember that he was like high stepping his knees and stuff like that in like these like shorts. But and Mute Math were terrific. I'd seen them once that previous February, and they were just crazy live band. They just got better and better live, and I think this show probably they were even better. Although it really took to that they finally showed up at First Avenue that they did the extensive drum jams and the crowd surfing. But they did some drum jams at this, and you know, I mean, from a set list, I can't remember. That was right after the self-titled first album had come out, or been independent release, and they got released later on the major label. But they did a lot of the Reset EP on that. But I think I probably remember this show as much for Under the Influence of Giants as I do for Mute Math, and I end up seeing Under the Influence of Giants. I think later that year, headline at the same venue I saw Mute Math headline, which is weird. Later at the Barfly in downtown Minneapolis. So let's see here. Dream Theater at Myth. Oh, this is Progressive Nation, which, you know, I remember that show as much for being that I ended up seeing Margot and the Nuclear So-and-So's later that night as seeing all four bands. Dream Theater was the headliner. You had Opeth, you had Between the Buried and Me, and you had Three. I probably think of that show the most for Three, because Three just blew everyone away. With like these group drum jams again. But in Between the Buried and Me won the crowd over, and they didn't have a long set, but it was great to have them be seen by people that normally don't listen to that kind of extreme metal. I liked Opeth, you know, it was Opeth. At that point, Michael Ackerfeld was still screaming, supporting I think it was the Watershed tour. I think Watershed had already come out at that point. You know, and Dream Theater, I don't remember their set list exactly. I think they may have played some of Change of Seasons. They played a lot of Octavarium, because right after that period of Octavarium and Systematic Chaos. But I've seen Dream Theater like 15 times, you know, to differentiate the shows. I think the support bands stick out as much. Myth, the only time they ever played at Myth, which is in Maplewood right now, is not in service. We don't have any shows, of course, now, but you drive by it and it's just like a ghost parking lot. But not that I'm crazy about Myth. I do like the parking situation, but, you know, it's a ritzy club that they always charge a lot of. That's one thing. They charge a lot of money for the merch. I wanted to buy some merch from Between the Buried and Me at that show, and the prices were like $35 for a t-shirt and like $70 for a hoodie. I don't think I bought either. So let's see here. St. Vincent, Foreign Born at the Cedar. This was probably the best St. Vincent show I saw before I stopped seeing her. This is the tightest show that she played at the Cedar. Great supporting band. Supporting, I think it was still when she was still supporting Marry Me. This would have been February 22nd, 2008, before Actor came out. So, yeah, she was terrific live when she was early on with that band. I know that a lot of people in that band aren't with her anymore, so... But then again, I'm not really listening to her like I once was, because the whole Annie Haslam singing for King Crimson vibe I'm not getting from her new music. But back then, I totally was. So that was, yeah, February 22nd, 2008. Here's another Dream Theater, the State Theater 2006. This is the one, I think... Again, that was supporting Octavarium. Knowing from the set list, I saw the Dream Theater at the State Theater in Minneapolis probably 4, 5, 6 times. The first one was Scenes from Memory, but this is probably the tour around the time they did Score and stuff. So they probably did Raise the Knife at this show, which was probably the biggest highlight. That, and I think another one, which was off the Majesty demo. So, and again, I mean, they're varied. You know, I've had great concert experience with Dream Theater. I've had so-so where the sound wasn't as good. I know I kind of concluded with the State Theater doing metal started to go downhill. But I don't know. I mean, the set list I think was really good. This is definitely one of the ones I helped promote, because I did that about 5 or 6 times for Dream Theater. Thanks Sue McLean and Associates for that. That was, you know, I went around the record stores and other venues and handed out flyers and hung up posters and stuff, and they gave me tickets. It was a really good deal. So the rest of the stuff, is sort of down and above the local band. Oh, Absent Eye. I really like them. Well, most people don't know them, but they were sort of a proggy acoustic, amplified acoustic band. June 30th, I got this at the Fine Line. I think I went for Absent Eye because the other bands on the bill I don't recognize. It might have been another local band, but because it has Q Public Seconds Before, and this was on June 30th. It doesn't even say the year. I gotta believe this is in the mid 2000s, maybe 2004, 2005, 2006. And it's interesting. Down and Above played at. They were the last band. And I remember Down and Above, I think, opened for Dredge, or I know the Dredge fans liked them. So this was probably mid to late 2000s, probably 2006, 2005, 2006. This is what some of these ticket stubs from that period. Cold Colors and Filthy Divine in the Morning at First Avenue is probably the entry. Scotty G's Soul Song. I may have been given this and I didn't even go to it. I'm not sure. This has a date. Yeah. This is one of these mystery ticket stubs. February 24th, 2004. Well, yeah, that was after my KFI volunteering time. I don't know. This was a mystery. I'll have to look it up. Australian Pink Floyd. I saw them 3 or 4 times. This is at the Orpheum Theater, November 18, 2004. Probably when they did all of the Dark Side of the Moon. They probably did some other stuff, like Carefully with the Axe Eugene, and not enough of. They didn't do any of the Animals. I did some Wish You Were Here, I think, but you know, they're a great tribute show. Very a lot of members, a lot of instrumentation. They do the Floyd justice, but at the same time, it is a tribute. So I don't have the musical box is probably the one group, and some of the local bands that have done certain albums, like Soap did Animals, but you know. So I have a couple music ticket stubs in here. I don't know why I kept these. This was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, 2008. Remember that movie? It had a lot of big names at the time, especially Kristen Bell and Mila Kunis and Jason Segel wrote it, of course. April 18, 2008. What theater was I at? I don't even know if the Rosedale. It's the Rosedale, you know. And then I found my World Series ticket stub in this bag from Game 1, 1987. The Twins did win that game. They ended up winning the World Series, of course. That was a big deal. Of course, me being the baseball fanatic, I was on row 24, seat 31. So we were in the section 215. We were in the upper deck, but I remember going to the championship series too and getting the Noids from Domino's Pizza, because the owner of Domino's Pizza was based and may have owned the Detroit Tigers, and the Twins were playing the Tigers. I don't know why they were advertising, but I went. Gary Gaddy hit a home run, or hit 2 home runs, I think, in that game. But being a Twins fan, it's a big deal. And going to both the Championship Series and the World Series, and being a huge baseball fan. So anyway, that's it, I think, for this bag. I don't think I have too many more stubs really to show, but yeah, I'll maybe do more of these, and I said I may have to do them because this was a small one, in sort of multiple videos or something like that. I'll just do them in chunks. So, but thank you for watching. Be curious if any of you out there keep your ticket stubs. What's your favorite ticket stub that you still kind of keep, that you remember, that you always want to remember? So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.